Hello students, in this session we'll start our first chapter of our syllabus of EE 744. The subject name is Advanced Power System Dynamics and Stability. Clear? And yes, again this subject is total credits of 5. That means one laboratory session weekly and 4 lectures. So let us start with the first chapter of your syllabus, which is introduction. Introduction part. So in this session of introduction, the first chapter of your syllabus. So here very basic and general introduction about the power system. That means you might be know about the definition of power system. That is, what is power system, then the function of power system. Clear? Then again different operating state, operating modes of power system. Clear? Fundamental requirements. So we will discuss about the what is power system, function of power system, then the fundamental requirements of power system. Then after, to fulfill that fundamental requirements, what are the control strategies or control action in power system. Then after, we'll discuss about the operating states of power system. So in this introductory part, I will cover these 4 topics. Clear? So let us start with the first topic or the title, which is the what is power system. So many of you know about the power system. Clear? But if anyone asks you the definition of power system, then how can you define? So for that, let us discuss this question, which is what is power system. Clear? So can clearly just understood the definition of power system. So it is the arrangement or system. It is an arrangement, or we can say the system where the generation, transmission, and distribution of transmission, and distribution of an electricity has been carried out and distributed to the end user and distribute to the end user with the condition of reliable, economic, and efficient. Clear? So such arrangement or such system is considered as a power system. Clear? One more time, the definition of power system is the arrangement or a system where the generation, transmission and distribution of an electricity has been carried out, and the electricity is transferred to the end users or the consumers with the condition of reliable, economical and efficient power. Clear? The power which is delivered to the consumers or the end users with the condition of reliable, economic and efficient. Such arrangement or such system is considered as a power system. Clear? So I hope you have clearly understood the definition and you know very well what is the power system. But yes, to brief you again with this, you are going to study about the advanced power system. So for that you just need to know about what is power system. Clear? So what is power system again? The system or an arrangement where the generation, transmission and distribution of an electricity has been carried out with the condition of reliable, economic and efficient power transfer to the end user. Clear? Then next is the function. Yes, function. Function of power system. Function of power system. Clear? So what is the function of power system? So the function of power system to convert is to convert energy from convert energy from one of the naturally available resources, one of the convert energy from one of the naturally available resources to the electrical one. Just consider an example of thermal power plant where the naturally available resource which is fossil fuel or simply you can say the coal. Clear? So from coal can generate the energy, produce the heat, and then that heat, using that heat, can develop the pressure or steam, and from the boiler you can have the rotation of alternator. Clear? So simply you can say that one naturally available resource through alternator can generate the electricity. Clear? So what is the function of power system? The function of power system, again also the same function of power system is there, that is the generation of electricity, transmission of electricity and the distribution of electricity. But before that, the basic function of the power system is to convert the one of the naturally available energy resource into the electrical form. Clear? And yes, and transport it to the end users. Clear? So that is what the generation, transmission and distribution. Clear? I hope you have clearly understood the definition or the concept of power system and the function of power system. Clear? Next, let us discuss the fundamental requirements of power system. Of course, there are many more requirements of the power systems. That is, yes, even you consider this definition, then can say that the reliability, economic, efficient, clear. But as per the book of one of the very famous book, which is the The book name is Power. The book name is Power System Analysis by or Power System Stability and Control by P. Kundur and Hadi Sadat. Clear? So for our this subject, you need to refer these two books. Clear? And with reference of this book, we'll discuss the next theory, which is the fundamental requirements of power system. Clear? So let us discuss the fundamental requirements of power system. Clear? But before that, I hope you have clearly understood the definition and function of power system. Again, the function of power system is to convert the energy from one of the naturally available we convert the energy from one of the naturally available resource to the electrical form and transfer it to the point of consumption. Transfer it to the point of consumption, which is end user. Clear? Maybe in commercial or industrial or agriculture, whatever load fulfillment. Clear? So let us discuss the fundamental requirements of power system. Clear? So the first fundamental, or simply we can say the basic fundamental requirements of power system. So the first one is the system must be able to meet the continuously changing load demand for active and reactive power. So simply in general you can say that your generation of energy must be equal to demand plus losses of the system. Clear? So the first basic fundamental requirements of power system is the system is must be able to meet the continuously changing load demand for active and reactive power. Yes, demand for active and reactive power plus losses. So your generation should be equal to demand plus losses. Clear? This is what the first fundamental requirement of our system. Clear? The next second one is the second requirement, which is the system should be supply energy at minimum cost and with ecological impact. Clear? So it is with minimum cost, or cost of supply energy to the end user should be minimum. Clear? That is what is beneficial to both. Beneficial to both means the consumers and the producers, or the generation or transmission or distribution companies. Clear? So this is what the definition over here. In definition, the second point. Clear? And the third and last fundamental requirements of power system is the quality of power supply must be certain minimum standard. Clear? So the quality of power supply have some certain standards, and based on that certain standard the quality of power supply will be decided. Whether the supply power is with the quality or not, that has been decided by some certain parameters that we will discuss. But the third fundamental requirement is the quality of power. The third fundamental requirement is quality of power. And for that some of the certain standards are there. And the standards are, the first one is consistency of frequency. Consistency or constant frequency. Clear? So if we are talking about our country, then we can say that the supply frequency must be 50 Hz. Clear? Then and then we can say that for the first this parameter, the quality of power supply is checked. Clear? The next is B. The second is consistency in voltage, or the consistency of voltage. So voltage level or the supply voltage must be constant. Clear? So the supply voltage, if it is for the single phase, then we can say that 230 volt AC supply. Clear? Or if it is for single phase, or for if it is three phase, then you can say that 400 volt. Clear? Then consistency of frequency, consistency of voltage, and the last one is level of reliability. Level of reliability. Clear? So as we have already discussed in this definition, that definition of power system, that the system or arrangement where the generation, transmission and distribution of an electricity has been carried out with the condition of reliable, economical and efficient. All these parameters should be covered in these fundamental requirements. So the first basic fundamental requirements of power system is the generation must be equal to the losses. That means not only losses but demand plus losses. That means your generation, or simply we can say that the customer should have the uninterrupted power supply. That means the generation has that much of capacity that is fulfill all the demand plus losses of the system. Here, then the whatever the power supply is transferred to the consumers, it should be with minimum ecological impact or with minimum cost. Clear? And the third one is the quality of power supply, and it must be certain some minimum standards which is listed over here. Clear? So the measure of quality or the quality assurance is provided by these three parameters. The first one is the consistency of frequency, the second one is consistency of voltage level, and the third one is reliable power, or simply we can say the reliability, level of reliability. That means uninterrupted power supply to the consumers. Clear? So this is what the fundamental requirements of power system. It should be there for power system, or I can say it must be there for power system. Clear? So yes, I hope you have clearly understood. The next is, to fulfill these basic fundamental requirements, there are certain control strategies for the power system operation. So, to fulfill these fundamental requirements or these fundamental, basic fundamental requirements, there are the certain control strategies in power system, and these are very general control strategies. Can say that the general control strategies for power system operations. Clear? So let us discuss one by one three, or I think yes, there are four basic general control strategies for fulfill these fundamental requirements. So the first one is prime mover control. The first one is prime mover control. Okay, the first one is prime mover control. So in prime mover control, use the different pen. Yeah, in this prime mover control, it is concerned with the speed regulation. It is concerned with the speed regulation of alternator or the generator, and control of energy supply. Control of energy supply. Clear? It is concerned with the speed regulation of an alternator and the control of energy supply. And some of the, yes, control of energy supply with some of the system variables, like you can control of the speed of alternator, or the control of active power. Energy supply means active power through this prime mover control via via boiler pressure, clear? Using boiler pressure, you can control the speed of an alternator or the control of output power, active power, then the temperature control, then the flow, air flow. Clear? Air flows. Okay, so this is what the first control, which is prime mover control, and it is deal about or the controlling about the active power output or the energy output from the alternator. And for that, simple, just you need to remember that whatever you are giving to the input, in that proportion you will get an output. Whatever the input you will give on into the system, in that proportion you will get an output. So here whatever you give the if it is the hydropower plant, then whatever and what pressure the flow of water is supplied to the turbine, based on that it will be rotate and it will give an output as an electricity. Clear? Same way, whatever the pressure you can maintain, or the temperature or flow of air you can maintain into the boiler, based on that you can get the output, if we are talking about the thermal power plant. Clear? So this is very general control about the prime movers. So using this prime mover control, you can control the active power or the energy output of the from the alternator. Clear? So this is the first general control strategies for power system operation, or for the smooth functioning of or for the achieving of these fundamental requirements. Clear? Then the second one is, wait, yeah, okay, let me choose the different color pen. Yeah, the second one is excitation control. Excitation control. Now, you know very well, with the controlling, with the help of this excitation control, here you can control the total power output or energy output or the speed regulation of an alternator with the by regulating this these parameters: boiler pressure, temperature, turbine airflow. Clear? But with the help of this excitation control, can have the control of, yes, many of you know about the excitation control. So yes, with the help of this excitation control, you can control the generator terminal output voltage. Clear? Whenever the excitation control is there, I think you must be studied about this excitation control, different control strategies. But yes, here, as a part of this theory, the general control strategies, the second one is excitation control, and it is used for the regulation of or the regulate the generator voltage, or more specifically we can say that they regulate the generator terminal voltage. And yes, and one more thing, the reactive power output. In detail we will study in voltage stability analysis this excitation control. Here, of course, there is one chapter regarding these excitation control. In there, we will study about the different types of excitation control, why the excitation control is required for the uh, operation of an alternator. Clear? But here we have discussed that for the prime mover control or using prime mover control, you can control your active power output. Same way, with the help of the excitation control, you can control the generator terminal voltage and the reactive power output. Clear? So, yes, again, to have the smooth functioning of or to fulfill these fundamental requirements, there are some control strategies that you need to control to achieve these fundamental requirements. Clear? So, for the constant voltage, to maintain the constant voltage, you should have the excitation control. Clear? To maintain the constant frequency, you should have the constant speed and the constant power output. Clear? So that can be done with the help of these prime mover controls. Clear? Then the excitation control to maintain the or to regulate the generator terminal output voltage the and the yes reactive power output. Clear? From the alternator or the generator. The third one is system generation control, or simply you can say that nothing but it is AGC or LFC. AGC means automatic generation control, and or simply you can say that load frequency control. Clear? So let us discuss what is system generation control, or simply you might be have the idea about the load frequency or AGC for the power system operation. Clear? So to balance the total system generation against the system load and losses first objective is to balance between the generation plus demand generation, which is equal to demand plus losses, or system generation, which is equal to, that we have already discussed, one of the basic fundamental requirements. Here, demand plus losses. Clear? So the desired frequency and power interchange with neighbor is maintained. So we need to, or for simply we can say that this first area, whenever we can transmit power to this neighbor area B, if this area A has their own generation which is equal to demand plus losses, then and then, not actually equal to, or simply you can say that if this area A has more generation with respect to their demand plus losses, then and then this area A can transport a power to this neighbor power area via this tie line power flow, tie line power flow to this area B. Clear? But for that, the area A must be in surplus. In surplus, that means the area A have the more generation to the demand plus losses. Clear? And even you can consider the reverse example for this area B to A also. Clear? Again, what is that? Area B can transport or transmit the power to the area A if it is not in a position to fulfill the demand of that own area. But with the condition when the area B can transmit a power if and only if it is in surplus mode. In surplus mode, that means the generation of area B must be must be greater than the demand plus losses of that own area. Clear? Then and then via this tie line power flow that can transmit power. Clear? So the system generation control is to balance the total system generation against the system load and losses so that the desired frequency and power interchange with neighboring system is maintained. Clear? So to maintain this tie line power flow, yes, this tie line power flow between these neighboring areas, the own area must be follow this equation. That is, the generation is more than or greater than, you wish you can write over it, the greater than the demand plus losses. Clear? Then and then it can transfer power to the neighbor area with the help of this tie line power flow. Clear? Or to maintain the system frequency. Here one more thing, let me discuss over here. All these conditions, all these controls will help to operate the system in stable condition. Clear? Because yes, here you have see this objective is to maintain the system frequency. If you maintain the generation which is equal to demand plus losses, then the system frequency will remain in within acceptable limit. Clear? Then here we are talking about to maintain the voltages, reactive power, then maintain active power. So that the main objective is to maintain the system stability or the reliability using these controls or the general control strategies. And the last one is, I hope you have clearly understood. The last one is the fourth one, which is the different pen weight. Okay. 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 So the last and final, the fourth one is transmission control. Clear? So let's discuss what is transmission control. I hope you have clearly understood first three control strategy or general control strategies. Here, so the transmission controls. Let me, so which includes, as the name suggests, it is with respect to the transmission line controls. So using some of the parameters, you can control the transmission line voltage, line flows, that means active and reactive powers between lines ij, qij. Clear? Then control of line losses, p loss, q loss. So using some of the control strategy, you can control or maintain the transmission line voltage, active reactive power flows, line losses. Clear? So which includes the power and voltage control devices. For that, yes, to maintain or the control all these parameters, it includes the power and voltage control devices such as SVC, that is, yeah, static var compensators, then synchronous condensers, then the static capacitors and reactors, yeah, static capacitor and reactors, then tap changing tap changing transformers, then HVDC converters for HVDC transmission, controllers. Here, so using all these devices, the objective is to control or the maintain the transmission line voltage or to enhance the power transfer capacity of transmission line, to maintain the voltage level at transmission line, power flow between transmission line, losses, reduce the losses here. Or simply you can add one more, which is devices, which is fax devices, flexible AC transmission system. Here fax devices. So using all these devices, the main objective is to maintain the transmission line voltage. So using this transmission line control, you can control the uh, enhance the power transfer capacity, then line flows, reduce the line losses. Clear? So I hope you have clearly understood all these four control strategies. Let us discuss one more time. So the general control strategies for the power system operation, the first one is prime mover control. You need to just remember that using this control, it is concerned with the speed regulation and the control of, yes, it is concerned with the speed regulation and control of energy supply. So main objective is for the it is for the main objective is to control of the energy supply. That means the output power, or simply we can say that out active power, with the help of this parameter, by controlling these parameters. Clear? Then the next is excitation control. Again, in excitation control, which is related to the generator voltage and the reactive power. So with the help of different control strategies, you can have the control over the generator terminal output voltage and the reactive power control. Clear? Then next is system generation control, where again you need to have the constant frequency for the smooth functioning of power flow between two areas. That is nothing but the excuse me, nothing but the automatic generation control, or we can say that load frequency control. Again, you just need to remember this example. The area A is transfer power to this tie line through this tri line to the area B, if and only if the area A in must be in surplus mode. Surplus mode, that means the generation of area A must be greater than demand plus losses of its own area. If it is the richer, then it will supply or sell the power to the next or neighbor area. Clear? But for using that, yes to what is the objective of AGC? You can have the balance of total system generation against the demand plus losses. So if some of the area of your power system is not in a position to supply their load, then it will ask for the other surplus area for the power flow via tie line. Clear? Then, but yes, this condition must be satisfied. Then and then the area can be can be uh, supply power to the neighbor one. Clear? Then the last one is transmission system control, where we are talking about the different control strategies for the control of the transmission line voltage and power. Clear? So with the help of the static var compensator, synchronous condenser, fixed capacitor and reactor switching, then tap changing transformer, HVDC controllers, or simply we can say that fax devices. So the main objective is that using all these control voltage control device or the power flow control devices, the objective is to maintain the voltage level of the transmission line, enhance the power transfer capacity of transmission line, or the reduce the losses of the transmission line. Clear? So the main objective of the discussion is the moral of the story, or simply we can say that the conclusion is the using all these type of controls, the satisfactory operation of power system by maintaining the voltage and frequency and other system variables within their acceptable limits. So main objective is, by using all these as a power system engineer, what is your main objective? By using all these control, you need to achieve the fundamental requirements, or simply we can say that you need to maintain the system voltage and frequency within acceptable limits. Also, other system variables. Yes, not only the voltage and frequency, but yes, if you maintain the voltage and frequency, then all are the parameters will be maintained itself. Clear? But also other system variables to their acceptable limits. Other system variables to their acceptable limits. Limit. Clear? So this is what the main objective to study for the subject also, or the subject of power system also. As a power system engineer, you need to have the maintain the system voltage and frequency at acceptable limit, or we can say that you need to maintain all the system variables with uh, to their acceptable limits. And for that you need to use or apply these control strategies: prime mover control, excitation control, system generation control, and the transmission. Clear? So I with this I will conclude this session. But before that, let me give you quick summary of today's session. That is, we have started with the yes discussion, the definition of power system. Again, what is power system? A system or arrangement where the generation, transmission, and distribution of an electricity has been carried out with the condition of, or as uh, generation and transmission of an electricity, generation, distribution, and transmission, okay, is been carried out or transferred to the end user with the condition of the reliable, economical, and efficient. Clear? Then such system or such arrangement is considered or known as a power system. Clear? Then the function of power system is to convert energy from one of the naturally available to convert the energy from one of the naturally available resources to the electrical form, and transfer it to the point of consumption, that means to the end users. Clear? So this is what the function of power system. Then we have discussed the fundamental requirements of power system. There, of course, there are number of requirements for smooth operating and smooth functioning of power system, but here we are discuss the basic or general fundamental requirements. Clear? So the general fundamental requirements, first and most important, is the generation must be equal to demand plus losses. Clear? Or the system must be able to meet the continuously changing the load demand plus load demand for active and reactive power plus losses. Clear? Then the system should supply energy at minimum cost. That is, the ecological impact to transfer or transmit the power to the end user with minimum impact, minimum cost. Clear? And the third one is quality of power. So the quality of power supply must be a certain minimum standard, or must be have the certain minimum standards with regards the following factors. So if all these factors will be fulfilled, then you can say that the power is with quality, oh, with the good quality. Here, so the first one is consistency of frequency, consistency of voltage, and the level of reliability. That is what the condition of interconnection. That means for the interconnection, the supply frequency must be constant, voltage magnitude must be constant, and as we know very well, the our structure of power system is interconnected power system. Clear? It is interconnected power system. Clear? That means synchronously each and every component of power system is connected with each other. Clear? So, yes, again, I hope you have clearly understood the fundamental requirements. Then, is to fulfill these fundamental requirements or for the smooth functioning of power system, the general control strategies are there for the power system operation. Here, general control strategies are there for the power system operation. So the first one is prime mover control. Yes, again, whatever the input you are providing to the system or to the alternator, with respect to you will get the output. So if you reduce the input to the alternator, it will reduce the output. Here the speed will be reduced and the electrical power output will be reduced. Here, so the primer control is help to control the energy supply or energy output. Clear? And speed regulation. Clear? Then, yes, with the help of this parameter, you can control it. Then next is second is excitation control, which is yes regulate the generator voltage and the reactive power. So the excitation control, with the help of this excitation control, you can control the generator terminal output voltage here or to maintain the generator terminal voltage here and the reactive power output. How it will work, we'll discuss in the next chapters, which is the voltage stability. Then I will discuss or explain how this excitation control will uh, work to control the generator terminal voltage. Clear? In generator characteristic. Okay. Then the third one is system generation control, or say it is nothing but the automatic generation control. So the your generation must be able to fulfill the demand plus losses of your own area. If it is not, then you can buy or borrow from the neighborhood area. Clear? But to maintain the frequency or simply to follow to fulfill this equation, you need to have you need to have the surplus power. Then and then you can sell or share to the neighbors. Here, then the last one is transmission system control. To control the transmission line voltage, power flow, to reduce the losses, there are such devices which is used for the losses. So what is the conclusion of today's session? Using all these control strategies, main objective is to maintain the system voltage and frequency and other system variables within their acceptable limits. Clear? So I hope you have clearly understood. Clear? If you have any doubt, you can ask me via mail or directly contact me on my number. Okay. Yes, one more thing. These control objectives are depends on the operating state. That is our next theory in next session. Clear? The operating states. And then after I will conclude this first chapter. Okay. So we'll share you the second video lecture of these operating states. Okay.